Coming up in this week's episode of Coast News, Universal Studios Hollywood have revealed the opening time frame of a brand new ride, and a brand new attraction has been introduced at Lightwater Valley. And as always, got some amazing news from different theme parks, rides, attractions and events all over the world. So let's get straight into the news today. And our top story for tonight, Universal Studios Hollywood have revealed the opening time frame for Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. And yeah, we are definitely, every passing day we're getting closer to the opening of this impressive looking new ride, and I really cannot wait to see how well this does when it actually opens. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically, Universal Studios Hollywood have revealed new details on when we can expect their newest roller coaster to open. Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift is a brand new Intamin LSM launch coaster set to open at Universal Studios Hollywood later this year. What sets this ride apart from others is that it features state-of-the-art drifting ride vehicles, which can rotate a full 360 degrees, controlling where the rider faces at any given time. Plans for this ride were first leaked in 2022. A year later, the park officially confirmed these plans to build a new Fast and Furious themed Intamin roller coaster, and it was originally set to open in 2025. Initial groundwork began in 2023, but vertical construction did not begin on the coaster until 2024. It was around this time that Universal officially revealed the name of the new coaster, Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. Despite vertical construction progressing at a steady rate and concluding around summer 2025, Universal delayed the opening of Hollywood Drift to 2026. In November 2025, the first test runs for the new attraction were officially held, which included the testing of the new spinning ride vehicles. Within the last week, Universal Studios Hollywood confirmed that they plan to open Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift in summer 2026. So yes, it has taken them quite a while to get this thing built, from when those plans were first leaked to when they were officially announced to now. It's been about a 4-year journey, but we're getting ever closer to seeing the revolutionary new drift coaster concept open at Universal Studios Hollywood. And then next year we've got more to look forward to, because another Intamin drift coaster is being built at Universal Orlando, which is also called Hollywood Drift, even though it's in Orlando. But yeah, Universal seems to see that this ride type is actually going to be successful for them months before it's even open, so they decided to build one in Orlando as well. And it does look really impressive from what we can tell. Not only does it have an incredible looking layout on its own, and even if it was just a standard coaster with fixed ride vehicles, that ride on its own, the layout would be enough to impress visitors. But the fact that it's also got that unique aspect of like the rotating ride vehicles, that's also another big selling point as well. So I do reckon it's going to be a pretty big success when it does open, and I cannot wait to see that first official POV when Hollywood Drifts is getting ready to open, or has opened. In other news today, Lightwater Valley have completed installation of their newest ride. And you know something, honestly, these last few years we've spent being so cynical about like the whole future of Lightwater Valley. It was getting worse and worse as the years went on under the ownership of Brean Theme Park. But now that they've got new management, the future looks a little brighter for them, and this ride just sort of is like the start of that. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically installation has been completed on the newest attraction at Lightwater Valley. Lightwater Valley is an amusement park located in Ripon, North Yorkshire, England. In late 2025, after 4 years of ownership on the Brean Theme Park, Lightwater Valley was put up for sale. In January of this year, the park was officially acquired by the Mellors Group, who are also the owners of Fantasy Island in Ingold Mells. Upon acquisition of the park, the Mellors Group promised to bring new rides to Lightwater Valley in the near future. Soon after the purchase, Spinning Racer, the Mara spinning coaster, which previously operated at Fantasy Island in 2021, was sent to Lightwater Valley. A couple of days ago, Lightwater Valley shared a photo of the ride, confirming that installation had been completed. Spinning Racer will open at Lightwater Valley later this year. So yes, very exciting times for Lightwater Valley there. The fact that Melrose Group actually wanted to invest properly into the park and also give it rides to cater to more the thrill-seeking audience as well as the younger audience. That's where Brides Imperial Group, I think, personally going too wrong. Now, I've never been to Lightwater Valley, but from what I heard, they were catering way too much to the younger audiences, like children's ages 7 and under, and that's where they were sort of lacking in like the general appeal for basically any audiences older than the age of 3. So the fact that they've added Spinning Racer, it may only be a temporary ride because this ride has been known to sort of travel about here and there across other places. Like I said, it operated in Fantasy Islands throughout the 2021 season, then it operated in a park in Saudi Arabia for a couple of years, and now it's at Lightwater Valley. So it might only be temporary, but it's a sign of things to come. And hopefully we'll see other thrill attractions open at Lightwater Valley in the near future. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, the future looks a lot more promising for Lightwater Valley now that Melrose Group have bought it, and I cannot wait to see how this all works out for them. In other news today, and yet again some more bad news in the theme park world, or some slightly concerning news anyway. Glenwood Caverns has filed for bankruptcy. And we did not really, well, this was quite a shock actually, but at the same time it's been, when you really look into it, it's actually been kind of, it's been coming towards them for quite the last few years. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park is an amusement park located in Colorado, USA. First opening in 1999, the park has been home to a number of unique attractions throughout the years, but has faced intense legal action in recent years following a tragic incident which took place in 2021. That year, a 6-year-old died after falling from the Haunted Mine Drop ride. It was found that this was due to multiple operator errors, including failure to ensure that the child's restraint was properly secured. The child's family had filed for a wrongful death lawsuit to the owners of Glenwood Caverns, 2 ride operators and the ride's manufacturer. In 2025, a judge ordered Glenwood Caverns to pay out $160 million for the lawsuit, but their insurance could only cover up to $5 million worth of claims. Earlier this week, Glenwood Caverns officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The park have stated that they will continue to operate as usual, and they have stated that Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection was the responsible decision to make. So yeah, the fact that they've had to file for bankruptcy protection, because $160 million is a lot of money, and the fact that they can only cover $5 million, so this decision kind of does make sense. But yeah, I can understand why they're having to pay out that much money, because it is quite a serious case that by the looks of all the evidence was they were sort of responsible for. But this, it's good that the park will still continue to operate as normal, but what the future lies for them after this, I have no idea. We'll have to wait and see if there are any more updates, in this case in the following months. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how things go for Glenwood Caverns over the next few months and throughout this season. And finally in the news today, and this is quite a turnaround for one of the stories I spoke about last week, Brean Theme Park has announced plans to reopen this year. And yeah, this, because last week I was literally reporting about how they had entered liquidation, and now they're saying that they have plans to reopen this year. So it is good news. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically Brean Theme Park is an amusement park located in Somerset, England. Originally opening in the 1940s as a camping site, they began installing rides in 1970, when they adopted their current amusement park identity. Last week, Brean had entered liquidation after facing a number of financial challenges throughout the 2025 season. However, early this week, park officials put out a statement saying that they were planning to reopen to visitors for Easter 2026. Brean Theme Park General Manager Peter Mainwaring has said, "We are working hard behind the scenes and will reopen for the 2026 summer season from Easter. Although the group structure has changed, our loyal visitors will still enjoy the same park, the same team, and the same great day out." So there you have it. There has been like a slight change in the group structure. So that possibly means, like, I don't know, maybe changes in leadership, possibly staff changes. So it's all like more internal changes behind the scenes. But the actual park itself and the operations possibly will remain the same. So that is good news. That is excellent news, because we were all worrying that we were all quite sad to see that yet another small park in the UK had closed. But it's good to see they've managed to work something out, and they're going to open this year. But even though they have sort of found a way out of this issue, the fact still remains that these smaller parks do need our support, because you never know when something like this could happen to your local park. It happened with Oakwood Theme Park and Flambards last year, around this time last year, and it very nearly happened with Brean literally in the last week. So yeah, even though Brean have managed to find a way out of this situation, the fact still remains that they'll need our support all throughout this season. So hopefully we can support them all. Hopefully we can support Brean and all these other smaller parks to help them financially and to continue operating to bring joy and excitement for visitors for years to come. So that is it for this week's episode of Coaster News. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, then please make sure to like and subscribe, and comment what we'd like to see in the next video. Goodbye.